An eerie moment captured on gas station surveillance. A mysterious stranger walks straight up to the clerk with a message.
Hello?
Yes.
I'd like to report a murder, please.
A murder?
Yes.
The victim, 21-year-old expectant mother Alisha Bromfield. Just hours before, she was toasting the bride and groom at an outdoor wedding.
And did you witness it?
Yes.
Who is the man making such a killer confession?
Do you know who murdered her?
I did.
Alisha Bromfield's mother, Sherry, still can't understand how her daughter ended up so far from where it all began.
She was always giving and always, ready to help the family, but she loved to have fun.
A loving daughter and friend, and soon to be a mom to a little girl.
She said, I have something to tell you. And I could tell she was nervous, and I said, you're pregnant. And she said, yeah, and she started crying.
But the father of her child, someone she met at college, didn't want to be involved. Alisha was just fine with that, even better than fine.
She was so excited to be a mother.
A semester away from graduating in forensic psychology and criminal justice, Alisha was working in the garden department at a major national retail store. All that hard work didn't go unnoticed by Alisha's boss, 36-year-old Brian Cooper.
He made it seem like he was this great person and he was very friendly.
The affable supervisor took an instant liking to Alisha. The two struck up a casual friendship, though Alisha's best friend points out that's all it was.
I think she was very afraid of losing her job.
Alisha's loved ones believe her job is why Alisha ended up saying yes when Brian Cooper invited her to his sister's out-of-town wedding in idyllic Door County, Wisconsin.
I didn't realize how far away it was. But the way she explained it, she's like, it's fine, we're staying at the hotel with, the whole wedding party.
At the wedding, Brian walks his sister down the aisle at the intimate outdoor ceremony. And after the last champagne toast, Brian and Alisha return to the resort. A few hours later, Alisha Bromfield will be dead.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I'm calling for somebody else.
The next morning, a gas station surveillance video captures a man in wet clothes walking to the counter.
Hello?
Yes.
I'd like to report a murder, please.
A murder?
Yes.
What is your name?
Brian Cooper.
The brother of the bride, and the woman he's calling to report murdered was his date to the wedding, 21-year-old Alisha Bromfield.
You know for sure that a murder occurred?
Yes.
Do you know if it was today that this happened?
Last night.
Did you witness it?
Yes.
Do you know where her body is?
In the room.
Do you know who murdered her?
I did.
You did. Okay. Was it an accident, or were you angry, or?
It was intentional. I'm a good person besides what I did last night.
Moments later, sheriff's deputies arrive at the gas station. 36-year-old Brian Cooper is taken into custody as investigator Mark Winkle heads to the scene.
When I arrived, after opening the door, I could see a female decedent in her 20s. She was laying on the floor. She was nude. A little closer examination of the body, you could see that there were injuries, bruising, scratch marks.
Back at the station, Winkle interviews Brian Cooper.
And how do you know Alisha?
We're co-workers and we're somewhat dating. Was. And she's pregnant.
She pregnant with your child?
So.
Okay.
I've always wanted more, but I always was respecting her because of her pregnancy.
Cooper admits he and Alisha argued earlier in the day, and by the end of it, Alisha told him
there wasn't going to be like a friendship after we got back.
Investigators would soon learn Alisha and Brian had long been facing conflict in their so-called work friendship.
He had called her a slut and a whore at work.
He's telling other people and other coworkers that this is my girlfriend and, we're going to go out on a date, and they never did.
We got back to the hotel and she just went into the bed and I was drinking.
Cooper says after the wedding, they go back to the room, and that's when things take a tragic turn.
Did she fall asleep?
Yes.
And what was going through your mind when she was asleep?
The reality was setting in that there wasn't going to be even a friendship. when we got back, which was today.
Then what did you do?
I jumped her and she got scared.
So were you on top of her then?
Yeah, and then I just started strangling her.
With your hands?
With my hands.
And what did she do? Did she fight back?
She did fight back, and then she was yelling about the baby. They don't do it to me because of the baby.
And she bit your finger?
And she bit me finger, and then we rolled off the bed, and then where she was laying, that's where it happened.
How long do you think you choked her?
I think it happened really fast. From the bed to the floor, maybe a couple minutes.
But as chilling as Cooper's confession was, it gets so much worse.
Have you ever harmed anyone else?
Yes.
Brian Cooper has already admitted to strangling a 6-month pregnant Alisha Bromfield to death.
At that moment, I didn't care.
And he was about to share the actual depths of his depravity.
Did you have sex with her last night?
Yeah, after I strangled her.
So after she's dead, you took her clothes off.
I just wanted to, like, see her naked, I guess.
Okay. And then did you take your clothes off?
Yes. I just took my pants off.
How long did you have sex with her?
Probably like a minute or two, maybe 3 tops.
Then Cooper makes another shocking confession.
Have you ever harmed anyone else?
Yes. My ex-girlfriend, I just couldn't get through to her, so I tied her up for the purpose of trying to, like, talk to her.
Were you arrested for that?
No.
Cooper says after strangling Alisha, he tried to kill himself with a dull knife and then a corkscrew. Neither worked, and he fell asleep in the bathtub.
Did you mean to kill her? Yes.
Brian Cooper is charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and third-degree sexual assault of a corpse.
I just couldn't believe it. My life changed forever that day. And I just couldn't believe that that was true. He strangled her. He killed her.
Shockingly, Cooper enters a plea of not guilty, claiming voluntary intoxication as his defense, saying he was too drunk to know what he was doing when he killed Alisha. In court, more evidence of Brian Cooper's perverted obsession with Alisha Bromfield is revealed.
He would ask her to go over there and take his dog out. And so he would have spy cameras in there to capture her going to the bathroom.
And Cooper bought a spy camera to the Wisconsin resort where he killed Alisha, hiding it in a trash can in the bathroom.
He actually did capture her getting out of the shower, and she was naked, which was so disgusting.
After 5 days of testimony, including Brian Cooper taking the stand in his own defense, the case went to the jurors, ending in a hung jury.
I was so shocked that I walked out of the courtroom as soon as they said hung jury, and even more shocking, they were women. For 2 women to say that he was not guilty because they felt that he was intoxicated after hearing all the evidence was mind-boggling to me.
Brian Cooper is found guilty of third-degree sexual assault.
And it almost becomes real that he could get away with this, and that is a terrifying feeling.
Devastated by the decision, Alisha's mom, Sherry, turned her heartbreak into a mission.
Never again did I ever want a parent, a friend, family to sit in a courtroom and hear alcohol being excused for anything. And that's when we started lobbying to change this law.
In an unbelievable feat, Sherry got the voluntary intoxication law banished from the books in Wisconsin and in 31 other states.
I don't know how I would have gotten out of bed every morning after suffering such a loss.
But in a cruel twist, Cooper's voluntary intoxication defense was grandfathered in. He could use it again at his second murder trial a year later.
It was very hard to be sitting probably 4 feet away from the person who killed your best friend.
But this time, when the case goes to the jury,
within an hour, we had our verdict.
Guilty of 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide for the murders of Alisha and her unborn child.
I think I cried for 30 minutes. I couldn't even stand up. I was shaking. This man will never hurt anybody again.
Brian Cooper is sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms. For all who knew and loved Alisha, the pain of losing her and her unborn daughter, Ava, will never go away.